What's up guys, Houndish here. Today Bungie posted their TWID. It's kind of a late one, so I'm pretty tired. We're going to get through the important bits from this TWID right here. They do talk about more changes to power leveling. Of course, we've seen plenty of them. This one hopefully swings things a bit further in the right direction. I guess we'll find out. It will affect bonus Engrams as well, which is a positive. Players have been discussing that quite a bit. Bungie also talk about portal difficulty tuning, matchmaking and quick play improvements, a catch-up opportunity that will arrive in mid-October, allowing players to get to power level 300 if they are below that power level. Otherwise, they also talk about the epic raid coming up, additional changes to power leveling in the raid, and we got a few other things to talk about. So if you guys find the video helpful, a rating really does help me out on the channel, but otherwise now let's get into it. We'll start out with speeding up the power climb right here. Bungie say we're speeding it up across the board when update 9151 launches on October 14th. These changes will focus on solo, fireteam, and pinnacle ops, and we'll work to make similar changes for Crucible and Desert Perpetual at a later date. But essentially, almost every grade for each power range is getting their power drops improved, whether you're just getting started or pushing your way to the last few steps before the power cap. So we can see this chart on screen. I almost feel like my brain starts to melt a little bit, but as we can see, in power ranges from 10 to 100, right there, C grades will give +5, that moves up from +4. B grades will also give +6 instead of +5, and A grades give +7 instead of +6. Essentially, most of this chart basically is saying we'll get an additional +1 to every powerful drop, and that is from the current position essentially. So it's definitely going to be another improvement. You'll notice that, in power bands 2 to 300 and 3 to 400, the power bumps given by pieces of gear are smaller than they are in lower bands. Also, when we get up to 500 to 550, things are going from -1, so essentially no power improvement, to +1 or +2. But Bungie do say grades at or below B, C+, and C will not grant powerful rewards on Ultimate, Grandmaster, and Master difficulty respectively. But there is another important part to this change, so bonus Engrams will give scored rewards. So basically, that means the extra bonus Engram rewards that we get on top of completion rewards, the ones with the green Engram in the portal, will now drop the same power as the Engrams from the chest. So whatever power improvements we're getting from the chest itself, the core reward for that activity, will also essentially apply to the bonus drops. So while the +1 that we see on the chart doesn't necessarily seem that significant, when you actually pair it with the bonuses that we'll get from these Engrams, that is a more significant change for sure, because if you're moving through the different bonuses that you've got in various activities, and playing a variety of activities, which is important given how prevalent solo ops has been, then it's going to be a significant step forward in terms of power leveling in the game. You'll have to give me your thoughts about that down below. Otherwise, Bungie also talk about new portal difficulty tuning. So another primary goal of that mid-October update is to make portal activity customization more accessible and rewarding at all power levels. A key challenge when accomplishing this goal is how the combatant power most players face when playing portal activities can be too high relative to their power and difficulty levels. So in short, they feel that the power delta players face in the portal is often too high right now, especially when customizing at the upper difficulty levels, which can make the game feel punishingly difficult during the power climb. They're essentially opting to simplify modifier selection when playing solo, fireteam, and pinnacle ops so that you don't need to worry about making activity power deltas too punishing. Basically, challenge modifiers will no longer adjust your activity combatant delta by -10 or 20. Instead, they will only increase your projected score and add the described effect to the game. This way, you can choose modifiers based solely on their effects and score bonuses without worrying about making combatant power more difficult. Plus, there'll be new difficulty delta caps that will be set for advanced, expert, master, grandmaster, and ultimate difficulties that are lower than what players were generally forced to play before when using challenge modifiers. So in terms of the delta caps for after this update, at Advanced it will be -10, Expert will be -15, Master is -20, Grandmaster -25, and Ultimate -30. You can see there as well they are making similar changes to quick play versions of those activities, the ones that we can't adjust the modifiers on. But Conquests will retain their difficulty tuning, so Expert is at -20, Master at -30, Grandmaster at -40, and Ultimate at -50. Which I don't think is a significant issue because they are meant to be the sort of more difficult pieces of content. And otherwise, when mid-October rolls around, they say for players that are new or returning to Destiny, we have something for you too. And when the update drops, we'll add a one-time catch-up chest so that you can jump right back into the game. And this chest will have a set of portal gear at power level 300, as well as an amount of unstable cores, which they don't specify, but they do say if you're above that power level, you will get a powerful upgrade instead. So overall, I think the changes Bungie have outlined here sound good. Again, it's another push in the right direction for sure. I think the element where bonus engrams give scored rewards is actually going to be far bigger than the additional +1 on most of the drops. But you'll have to give me your thoughts about it down below. You may have spotted the casting update regarding Banshee. Players have noticed that the voice actor is different. Basically, Bungie updated all of Banshee's lines, partially in preparation for Renegades and the future of Destiny, so Ian Gregory is the new voice for Banshee 44. Not someone I'm particularly familiar with, but let me know in the comments if you can reference any of their other work. Also there, you'll spot for trials this weekend, Jav 4, Cirrus Plaza and Endless Vale will be the featured maps, and the fusion rifle, Burden of Guilt, will be the featured weapon, so just keep that one in mind. Otherwise, the TWID also speaks about Desert Perpetual and the Epic Raid. So in terms of contest mode loot, we already know when the raid is dropping, it's this Saturday, but in terms of contest mode loot, Bungie have said they're improving rewards it provides to reflect the status of the activity, and all loot in contest mode will drop at tier 5 for the first clear and tier 4 for every run thereafter. So it's going to be pretty good in terms of farming that gear if you're able to clear it. They also say though they are disabling the featured gear bonuses in terms of damage and damage resistance during the contest mode. They'd said previously they were going to let it be a thing, but unfortunately they won't. Or maybe that is better, maybe it's more balanced, I'm not really sure. Otherwise, in terms of a list of banned gear that is currently available for the contest raid, Bastion, the exotic fusion rifle, as well as the 1-2 punch perk, the Heliatus legendary rocket launcher, lightweight legendary swords in general, and Ergo Sum, interestingly, will all be disabled inside of the Epic Raid over the course of the weekend, so it won't affect any of the parts of the game, but we will not be able to use them in the raid. They also share some of the emblems, so there is the contest emblem right there at the top if you clear it on contest difficulty, and the one at the bottom there is the general Epic Raid emblem, so basically clear the raid at any point in time on Epic difficulty and you'll get that one. I'm not going to cover it again because we've spoken about it, but there's information to follow the race if you want to watch any streams, as well as the emblem that you can unlock by watching for, I think it's 15 minutes on September 26th at 6 AM Pacific time, up until September 28th at 6 AM PT. There is also additional info about the World First rules, so if you're going to be playing it, you probably already know about these things. If you do want to find out all those details, I'll link the TWID down below. There's also information about the updated stream overlay. This is meant to hide, you know, buffs and debuffs and things. Bungie trying to make it better than folks just having black screens and stuff like that. But in terms of rewards, they say when the Epic Raid launches, Desert Perpetual will have 2 weekly challenges. The first can be completed in either version, which unlocks a second in the Epic Raid, and then these challenges will grant bonus rewards in each encounter based on the number of feats you have active. So from 0 to 2 feats, bonus gear will be tier 4, and from 3 to 5 feats, bonus gear will be tier 5. So with the other changes that are already live in the raid, generally the gear experience is going to be significantly better. Otherwise, moving forward, they also say with 0 feats, there will still be a low chance at tier 4 and a rare chance at tier 5 drops, as well as 10 spoils. And you get the general idea. At 3 feats, there'll be a high chance of tier 4 and a low chance of tier 5. 4 feats is high tier 4, medium tier 5. And with 5 feats, there are guaranteed tier 5 drops. So that's nice in terms of the rewards. Otherwise, they say there'll be continued powerful drops on additional clears of the raid. So every time you complete all encounters in Desert Perpetual, and that's the epic or base version, you'll reactivate powerful drops for all encounters, refresh the locks on hidden chests, and reactivate the full clear bonus gear chest earned from the final boss. So that's nice. You'll be able to farm the raid consistently for power as we move forward. So there we go. That's the bulk of the TWID. Otherwise, there's known issue stuff, things about the chronologs. If you put them into the vault, you potentially will lose them. So avoid doing that and take them out of the vault if you can, as it basically messes up any other time that you actually earn them. They can just vanish. Otherwise, they say they are busy implementing improvements to make several aspects of the game more rewarding and finishing touches for Renegades before December 2nd. Stay tuned for further updates in the coming weeks, but until then, let's focus on the challenge ahead. In reference to the epic raid, of course. So there we go, that's TWID. Power changes, I think, are positive. Obviously, it's frustrating that it's been kind of a slow rollout and very iterative in terms of power updates. Bungie have taken small steps at a time. This one probably a slightly larger step than it first appears, especially because they're pairing it up with that bonus engram component finally being more rewarding. So give me your thoughts about that, the other adjustments to the portal, the epic raid, and all that good stuff. Otherwise, I'm off to bed. I'm getting too old for this. Man, it's only 10:30 here. Once upon a time, I was young. Maybe 10 years of Destiny will do that to you. Maybe 10 years of anything will do that to you. Anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome day.